This man's face is the male version of his mother. He's literally the spitting image of his mother, the late Queen Elizabeth. That's sad. He has found himself once again in a PR mess. He's in the doghouse with the press because of his car. He's driving the wrong car. I don't know how he did that. So it says here Prince Andrew at center of new row over Range Rover fitted with blue emergency lights. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. So it says here Prince Andrew was seen using a 100-pound Range Rover, and the Duke of York is no longer a working member of the royal family. Have you say, do you think Prince Andrew should still have access to royal perks? He's no longer a part of the royal family. Says who? Well, he's no longer a working member, but that's all really. He's just been given license to do nothing and get paid to do it. So, y'all put up a half of a fuss, not a full fuss, half of a fuss. So they took away his working royal persona, image, farce, whatever. And he just continues on. Now he doesn't have to do anything. He can sit on his laurels and he still gets all the perks. He still lives in his same house. He still drives the same car. He still goes to the same royal family event, whether it's Easter Sunday service or it's the memorial service of King Constantine of Greece or whatever. He has not in the coronation, he wore a frickin' robe like everybody else. Did Harry even get to wear a robe? I don't even think he did. The Queen's funeral, he was front and center. I mean, what has changed in Andrew's life, honestly, other than the fact that he is stripped of I am a working royal title? Title, but not status. Title is not status. Status is not title. It's, you know, status and title are two different things. They are connected. You can have a certain status because of your title, right? Or you're given a certain title because of your status, but they're not synonymous necessarily, right? You can still have a certain status even though you don't have the title to go with it. He is no longer a working royal. So what? Why do people think that means anything? It doesn't mean a darn thing. So here they go, GB News. Meghan haters. Um, The Duke of York, who stepped down from royal duties over his friendship with convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, continues to drive a 100-pound 4x4 for horse riding trips in Windsor, according to reports. Is it the amount of the money or is it the blue lights? Prince Andrew, 64, also took the car to lunch at Harry's Bar, a glitzy private members club in Mayfair. Well, what kind of car do you all give him permission to drive? Royal critics are surprised the Duke is still given privileges despite no longer being a working royal. I mean, if it's his, isn't it his car? I mean, I think he's paying for his own car, right? He has a lot of deals. He does business deals with tycoons and stuff. They pay him millions of dollars for access or whatever. I mean, so he can buy his own car. I mean, he has money to buy his own car, I think, right? It says here he has been photographed driving the vehicle in Windsor and central London and is often followed by private protection officers in 60-pound Land Rover Discovery. Why do they focus on the amount of the car or the price of the car? It says here the Range Rover is assigned to the Duke and is fitted with police lights, while the backup Land Rover is fitted with amber hazard lights as part of a fleet leased by the royal household. It says here it is illegal for the public to fit blue lights on their car, but all members of the royal family have a special dispensation so vehicles can be used for official engagements and police convoys. Mm-hmm. So, however, Andrew is no longer a working royal. There are few scenarios other than state funerals or coronations where he or his private security team would be allowed to use the lights. How completely ridiculous, honestly. The whole thing is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous that I'm even having to discuss the fact that This man has blue lights on his car. I don't care, but apparently it's a big deal. And look, I mean, they create their society and then they cry foul. I mean, y'all are the ones that gave them this right to have blue lights on the cars in the first place. Right now, you're going to complain that he's driving a car that costs £100. How much should his car cost? Why didn't you put that in the manifesto so that he's clear on this? I can only drive a car that costs £30,000 once I'm no longer a working royal. I don't think there's any handbook or playbook that was clear enough to tell this man you can no longer drive a car or a Range Rover or whatever that costs £100,000, right? Y'all create these ridiculous rules, put these people up on a pedestal, hero worship these people for no other reason other than the fact that they were born, right? Pay them billions of dollars to walk around in gold carriages and go to hospitals shaking hands and all kinds of nonsense, taking flowers and bouquets, tons and tons of bouquets from little girls who curtsy just because they appear. You created this construct, right? You created this construct, and now you want to turn on this guy because, well, he made some mistakes. Now he can no longer drive $100,000 car. Okay, fine. Did y'all send him a memo? Can he drive any car at all? How much? What's the maximum his car can cost? I mean, I'm just saying. I mean that's not to defend this guy. I don't care, but I mean, you can't just be random, you guys. These random people. So apparently, Andrew's daughters are not working royals either. So did they lose their royal status because of? I know they probably don't have his and her royal highness titles, but did they lose their status as well because their father was friends with a pedophile? It seems unfair because they didn't do it. He did it. He should be the one who suffers. Why are they suffering? I don't really care about them. They hugged Pierce Morgan, and the minute I saw that, I was done with them. I was done. I can't unsee that, right? I cannot unsee that. And at the time that they hugged Piers Morgan, while he was still working for, was it Talk TV or whatever it was, and well, Rupert Murdoch, you know, outfit Piers used to work for, and he was on his back foot daily against Meghan and to some extent Harry, saying the most horrific things. And one of them had gone to visit Harry and Meghan in Montecito, I think now just to spy, to see what's up there, to take her little sneaky photos to take back to the others, right? I don't think that was a friend. I don't see how Meghan ever, maybe Harry can, it's his blood, but I mean, I don't see how Meghan ever trusts these people again to come into her home. And the first chance they got, they were seen hugging Piers Morgan at that time, at that interval of time in the history of this experience. I was done. I don't know how Meghan harbors them in her home ever again. These are traitors, these are backstabbers, right? So I don't really care. But I'm just saying, why did they lose their status just because their father befriended a pedophile? A and B, what difference does it make how much this man's car costs? I mean, that's not the point. That's not even the point. His car costs 100,000. Maybe he's paying for his own car. It's not even the point. The point is why you're all continuing with this monarchy silliness in the first place. These people are not superior to y'all in the first place. This is the whole point. Y'all continue a construct that makes no sense in modern times. Paying billions of dollars to a family just because they were born. And then they make a mistake and you want to take away their car and replace it with what? Should he now walk everywhere? Is that what we're saying? And if that's what we're saying, that's what we're saying. If that's the rule, that's the rule. But did you clearly tell him that? Did you put it in writing? You know what I'm saying? I have no sympathy for these people because they are the ones, not the royal family, who keep this going, right? They are the ones who keep this going. They want this for their entertainment so that they can have something to write about. And I have no sympathy for them, frankly, with this whole thing. What are your thoughts on this thing with Andrew and the blue lights? Do you give a crap or do you not give a crap? Tell me in the comments.